Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the DWI podcast. My name is PC Tunney. I am your commissioner and the commissioner
Of the United States.
of Dem Dare Americas, and I am joined, as always, by the man, the myth, the legend, the other half of the world's greatest tag team never. It's him, it is him, it doth be the DPP.
We briefly talked a little bit about playing Madden before we came on the air, but I got to know, I was very excited. Thank you to the modders of gaming. There is a remake of Tecmo Bowl with the 2026 rosters. And so I downloaded that, and I'm really excited to play that too.
What did
Old school.
On Steam Deck, apparently, right?
On Steam. Yeah, you can play it on your computer if you want to, but yeah, you can get it for the computer.
There's nothing for PS5.
Nothing for PlayStation, nothing for consoles, computer only. You could play it on your computer if you wanted to on your laptop. That's about it.
Yeah, I
But
don't.
that's
I have enough history of problems with my laptop that I'm just gonna not. Maybe we can find something I can download to play it there. But no, that's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, we both played all the iterations of Tecmo Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
This one's Tecmo Super Bowl with the 8 different play options.
Okay.
So I think the second one. I think that's the second one.
I remember the first time they had Tecmo. Tecmo had the football on Super Nintendo, where they actually had the names of all the players, and you actually had subs, and you could choose your playbook.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite football games ever was on the Super Nintendo Tecmo. Probably Tecmo Super Bowl or something.
I think it must be this one then. This must be the Tecmo Super Bowl because it's that style. You can change your playbook. You can sub in players. Players get injured. Can't change your defense. I can't remember if you could do that back then. Like change players on defense. You can change offense.
Anything, yeah.
And they have more stats too, which is kind of cool. Or yeah, things like that. So it's pretty neat. I was pretty excited to see that little mini football if you don't want to play the big Madden.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Madden. I mean, we both have it. You have not played much yet. You went in and have played a half so far. What did you think? Did you do like play full game and then just go to the Super Sim with the L3 when it's time to play defense or kick off or something?
Yeah, as soon as it went to defense or whatever, I hit the Super Sim to just play offense only. I think, well, more or less, I didn't necessarily have time to play any video games this week, so that's the big reason. But the other reason, and I don't know how to change it. I'm sure you can. So when you hit the R2 to see your play, the preview of your play, does it just change plays on you?
Oh, were you probably had a road game or a young quarterback, right?
I was playing as the Packers.
Were you on the road?
Don't remember. I am gonna say probably. I don't know.
That'll happen. It'll look weird until they settle in, and then you can look at it, and it'll only let you look at it again for so long if it's like early in the game or you don't have any momentum or you're on the road, like until you break into the game.
What? Because I was holding it down to see the play I was going to run, and all of a sudden it just changed.
Yeah, if it's wrong, then let it go again, and then wait a second and try and look at it again. Yeah, once you get into the rhythm of the game, it'll hold up. But yeah, that's what my experience. I have other qualms.
Uh-oh. That was
20.
mine so far anyway. I have not played. Right. I've only played a half. So, but that's that bothered me. I can tell you that.
That'll go away. Trust me, that'll go away. One of the things that really I didn't like was I turned all the injuries off, but I'm going to have to go in and turn off fatigue and like other like stuff like in game whatever, because I don't even remember, because I ended up just turning it off because it, like, at halftime the starting quarterback I had made like a low round pick, really good fast quarterback on a team that didn't have a good quarterback, and like halfway through they're like, oh yeah, he's so severe that he's not going to come back in the game. Is like risk of injury is severe, not high, not medium, not low. And I'm like, well, that's dumb. I mean, like I specifically turn injury off because like I'm going to go in and it's going to take me 45 minutes before I even start like the franchise because I'm going to completely strip down the roster of everything I don't want, trade for things I want, but leave all the difficulties of trading on and leave the salary cap on, right? And all that stuff like that. But that kind of bothered me. One of the cool things though is, and I know once you start a franchise, I'm sure you do the same thing I do and just go position by position, get rid of some people that you don't want that are overpaid, and maybe look at the free agency list and bring in people you do want. When you negotiate with your free agents, you actually negotiate with them. You don't just go, oh, that's how much it is and hit sign deal like it's always been, right? You go in and you make an offer and then they counter and then you counter it, like you can go back and forth with them, and it's pretty cool. Like if they want to be there, they don't lose patience that fast, but if like they have other offers or they've been burned by your organization before, they lose patience and then you got to wait amount of time to renegotiate with them. So I thought that was a little bit more realistic. I did like that. I haven't messed around with the playbook yet. I've been just looking at a bunch of them, making sure that they have some of the go-to plays. We all have like 3 or 4 running slash and passing plays on each side, type of play that we go to. And if they don't have them in a playbook on a coach you're playing with, you're like, well, fuck, I need those plays. I
Mhm.
create 5 or 6 plays, different plays off that specific play. But everything looks pretty good. Uh, you can still do the old school kicking, which I like way better than their new kicking. So I don't know if you went
Yeah, I
back
didn't
to,
even try that. I just used classic.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I never even gave the new one a shot because I know I like that one, and that's
So I can
easy
tell
enough.
you, do you like have the play clock run down to at least a certain amount of time?
Normally when would play it, I would turn that off where it would just auto tick down or whatever. If you select a play quicker or whatever, I turn that off.
Okay, so you let it run the whole time and everything. Because I think games get over quicker. I leave it on, and then I play like 11-minute quarters, and my totals and plays average out to like the average NFL game.
Okay. I usually played, I think it was 8-minute quarters, but I turned that off.
So you had more
So
time.
yeah, so I had more time because it wouldn't tick down whatever it was, 20 seconds or something like that, 15
Yeah,
seconds at
the
least.
20's the max you can leave it. You can turn it down lower or something. I think you can go between 15 and 25. I'm not sure. I just leave it at 20. That's fine. That's all the time I need to get up to the line. And plus, at the end of the game or at the end of a half, it it goes away.
Yeah, that's true. I think after whatever the 2 minutes, it stops doing that anyway, but
Yeah.
I always like just not doing that just to I don't know. I didn't have to think about it. If I wanted to run some plays real quick, I can, and I don't need to, I don't know, just burned extra time, felt like. But yeah, I would turn the time on the quarters down, so it probably comes out to, a wash.
Right. 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 Well, we can talk more once you get into it, and hopefully, we can find just one more. I know Dave would be in for sure. We can find one more person that's playing this game. We can just get like a little 4-man league, take our time with it. It's easy to it's easy to get your game a week in against the computer. It's just the week where you'd potentially play a human in the league that you'd have to plan some time to get together.
Right.
Um, but I think that'd be cool if we could get a little chair shot Madden league going. We could figure out a way to get it up on get our Twitch channel going here,
Yeah.
along with the YouTube. So that could be a good time. So we'll see. We're gonna try and make sure we make that happen, and then we'll have a whole draft, um, for teams and maybe for the whole league. Maybe we'll just draft out the players for everybody too. But the only thing I don't like about that is then you like you're not playing the Packers or you're not playing the Rams or you're not playing the Chiefs. You're playing like that franchise with a weird kind of
Sure.
thing. So
Randos.
yeah. Maybe we'll have to be like you get so many trades and you get so many free agent pickups, and we'll have to do it by roll the dice order, or draw the hat, you know,
Right.
because
Maybe.
there are a bunch of good free agents in the pool always in Madden, at the start of a season. So But yeah, stay tuned for that. And not to put too much information out there, but before we move on, there may be more coming from the Chairshot Fantasy Wrestling League. Just throw that into the ecosystem, the ecosphere, the podcast universe out there. We'll see what happens. There's meetings to be had, but there could be a lot more coming from that as well. So the only other video game thing, and I was going to save this till the end, but then I found out you hadn't really played Madden yet, and I was like, well, that's okay. But you anything else you're playing before I get to one quick note before we get into actual wrestling?
Oh man, gonna make me think about this. No, I don't think so. I got a couple games on the horizon here, but haven't actually started them.
I brought this up to Patrick. I was like, you could get both, and you could get both Madden and college football for $100, and Madden's 70. So how many people stopped buying the college football game since it came out? This is the third year now, right?
2 years?
Is this the second year?
I think that's just the second year. Yeah, I think so.
I was like, oh, I'm like, I'm never gonna play it. It's the same game.
It's the problem.
I already had the experience of playing it, and I didn't think like the create a player, like the player mode, I didn't think was great. It was really hard to be good. Like, I get trying to have to make your guy good, but like it takes forever. It takes like all the way. You can't even be a good sophomore, even if you like dig in your freshman. You have to like turn. If you want to get really good really fast in the college football in like the player mode, you have to like turn everything down to the easiest it is, so that you always have good gains, so that you get the maximum amount of points to make your player better every week. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's kind of a tough one. And the problem there I had too is I took a quarterback, and I'm like, oh, this is great. This is back. I can play a whole season. I can play 4 fucking seasons with a quarterback and make them so fucking good. And then you can pull your guys, you can pull your draft class out of there into Madden. I'm like, oh, sweet. So this guy, he'll actually be like an 80, low 80s going into the NFL, because he's be like because he had won 3 Heismans out of 4 years and 4 national champ. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was like a guy who's supposed to come and be good. He comes in and he's like a 66. And even though he rushed for over 4,500 yards in 4 years in college, his speed was like 72. And I'm like, why did I put in all that work if the guy is just going to come in the same as you do a creative player mode in Madden, where they make you shit no matter what? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why did I put all that work in? I had both games. It's not like I went in to just do the player mode and you gave me I made up a guy. No, I put all this time and effort into a game you told me was connected to your game, and then you made it the same crap anyway.
Right. It didn't matter. Didn't make one bit of difference.
No.
Yeah. What's the point? I feel like, yeah. And if that's really the case, and I generally kind of feel like you're either going to play college football or you're going to play NFL football, one or the other. And I'm not going to be playing both. So you pick whichever one you want to get. There's no reason to get both of them.
The gameplay is the same, actually. That's the big thing, right? It's the same gameplay engine.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I still like playing it. I'm going to have a ton of hours playing it. I like to have my Packers franchise where Sunday mornings I play the game the week they're playing it, and then I go in and make sure because I don't like to do it online. I'll just do it offline, but I'll go in and like make sure the right team wins every week too. So then, I'll play Sunday morning. No other games will have happened. Then I'll go in for the week and say who's going to win Tuesday morning before. But I usually end up doing a season with almost every team. I don't usually go more than one season just because I get bored and I want to do it something different offense, different style. But what is your path of playing the game? Because that's what I'll do probably until like the playoffs at least.
Yeah. Usually I'll do 2 seasons. I'll just take the Packers and I'll play 2 seasons. So I'll go through a off season and draft and re-sign some players, trying to get a couple other free agents maybe, and change the team a little bit if I can. And then that's usually about as far as I get. Otherwise, I'd probably I don't know if I'd play with any other teams. I usually don't like doing that. I just like being the Packers, so I'd probably play another round of the franchise. But by the time the second season's around, actually, by the time the second season's around, I'm kind of done playing, and I'll do not coach mode, but like whatever manager mode, general manager mode, where I'll just do the off season stuff and track the team and let the team simulate the games and see how the team does with me just being behind the scenes and adding players and moving, shuffling stuff around or whatever, and doing the off season stuff. And I'll go through a good decade worth or something and see how many titles I can win.
There's two other things I like to do. One is take a team that isn't great and try not to like dress it up a little bit, but don't go all out. Not make it as good as, like, a lot of times I'll try to make the franchise as good as I possibly can, so the games aren't so difficult. When you play a really good team, so that way, you know, I, Miles Garrett isn't sacking you every time you don't get rid of the ball in 3 steps. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But I like to make myself like the quarterback on that team and like be super fast. You ever do that? And then you used to be able to do it where you could just lock in, you could only be the quarterback, right? Like you can't
Yeah,
do anything else. Just play the whole season as you're just the quarterback. Like you can call the plays and stuff, but like once you hand that ball off,
that's it.
once you throw that pass, once you're on that sideline, how
Yeah,
good are you?
you're hanging out. You're just
Mhm.
hanging out. Yeah, I've never done that. I don't know. Just it never. I don't know. Maybe it just never interested me enough to do that. So I don't know.
The only other things I do when I play a season or anything else is I cheat on a couple of things. I always cheat on two things. One's kicking. My kicker and my punter have to be awesome. They have to have the superstar traits and the meters slowed down. There's nothing I hate more and will break controllers worse than missing a field goal. And then two,
Yeah.
nowadays you have to have a long snap. They have a position for long snapper on your roster. Well, that just
Mm.
takes away a spot on your 53-man roster, which I'm not used to. So cut the long snapper, crank up the long snap abilities of your third string tight end and your backup center, and now you got a starting long snapper and a backup long snapper in case
There you
in
go.
case, in case his risk of injury is too severe and he can't come in your injury-free season, right? Uh,
I'll have to
so
pay attention to that. I never even. I don't think I've gone that far down to pay attention.
Well, once you start, like, I think you just went in and play game mode and just was like, "Let me just play a little bit." Like, you're gonna start your
Yeah.
season, you're gonna go back in and, like, you're gonna do the preseason roster adjustments, right?
Yeah, I'll mess with all that stuff when I
Yeah.
actually like
So
start a franchise.
when you get to that, after you've gotten ready for your season, then we'll revisit this Madden
Yeah.
conversation, and we can have more of the conversations. Uh, because it's when's the last time you got Madden?
It's been 2 years. I got it 2 years ago. Well, yeah, three. Oh yeah, 2 years ago because I was able to play it without the cheat problem, and now all of a sudden now that's been the thing. So
You know what's cool,
yeah.
we could do with our league, since you and I only play offense.
Mm,
We can make it so you can't play defense. You can call your defensive plays if you want,
yeah.
or you can just because you can go to coach suggestions now, or you can move over to the formation, right? Like coach
Mm,
suggestions is going to give you maybe like 9 to 18 plays that the coach wants you to call, or you can just go into formations and pick from the whole playbook, whatever you want to call it. But like, I think it'd be cool if like you can't touch the controller on defense, so that way you're not really getting mad about playing the guy. You're just playing his defense. He's playing your defense. You know what I mean?
right. I'd be fine with that because I'm not going to be trying to play defense. I don't think at this point. Not with the way the game is nowadays. It's so different, so difficult to play defense.
Yeah. All right. Well, stay tuned. Last video game thing I wanted to touch on DP, and I don't know when the last time you jumped in there, but I know like I think you've jumped in there maybe 2 or 3 other times than when we initially played. But Fortnite has a section of the game board right now is Sonic the Hedgehog, and
Ah,
you have like power boosts on the ground, and like the grass is all cut like in those shades and everything, and you get to go collect coins, and you can go around the upsy daisy and over stuff, and so it's kind of a fun play in there right now. I just got
Nice.
out there to kill 20 minutes before we jumped on here in between getting home. But yeah, it was a kind of a cool new board that it must have just came in Sunday or Monday. So there you go.
Huh.
There's 20 minutes of gaming from the DWI podcast right there. How about that? All
Wow.
right. Here's what we're going to do now. We're going to take a commercial, and when we come back, we will talk some wrestling. We'll talk some wrestling. We're going to go over SmackDown, and we're going to go over Raw. We got 2 weeks from Sunday night's main event. But right now, you're listening to the 533rd edition of the podcast known as DWI. We'll be right back.
Why should you visit thechairshot.com? Thechairshot.com is your home for hard-hitting reviews, news, opinion, and analysis with attitude. Why? Because you're smarter than the average fan. Thechairshot.com. Always use your head.
Don't forget about Chairshot Media as well. You already know if you're watching on YouTube, but you can also follow us everywhere else. I'm going to let you know whenever a new post happens on thechairshot.com. And of course, head on over to prowrestlingtees.com/thechairshot. Check it out. Tons of great t-shirt designs. Makes a great gift for the wrestling fan in your life any time of year. That's prowrestlingtees.com/thechairshot. DP, we're back. It's been a minute now since they've started to do SummerSlam so very early in August. How do you feel about that? Because like I'm sitting here August 20th, I'm like, oh, this weekend or next weekend should be SummerSlam, right? The weekend before Labor Day weekend. And it's, we're going to have Sunday night's main event. We're not going to have a PLE from August 2nd all the way to the beginning of October till Money in the Bank. How are you feeling about that right now?
I guess that doesn't really bother me. There was I guess, seeing as how we had that, thrust of PLEs and main events a lot there for like a month and a half there. Like
Yeah.
maybe they could have split it out. Maybe they could have stretched this one out a little more, but
2 of them are overseas, so it was like, sweet, Saturday early
Right.
afternoon.
right. I won't complain about that. That's for sure.
Oh, dude, WrestleMania, you don't have to take off Monday this year because,
Oh,
right?
yes.
I know. Like
It's gonna
DP
be
might
nice.
actually make both post shows this year.
Yeah, right? I know. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I can't wait to do 15 podcasts in 8 days this year.
Yeah.
Still recovering.
I don't mind though. I don't there's plenty of television between Raw and SmackDown that a good break between shows is not really a big deal. And the way things are nowadays, where it's not a like pay-per-view or anything like that, you know,
Oh, it's
yeah,
pay
you
per
don't
month. It's pay per month.
pay per month, right? That's not really a big deal when they really have the shows, so if they have a clump a few of them together, great. And if they have a stretch where there's a gap, a big gap, not a big deal too. And especially if, like you said, a couple of them are overseas, so if it's there's a stretch, I don't mind actually.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It just seems like it's just I don't know. I asked you last week. I'm going to ask you to effort it again while I get into SmackDown from this past Friday. Are there any matches set yet for Sunday night's main event? I do remember you told me it is in Hotlanta. I do believe that is what you said.
It sure is.
I think there's a couple matches set. Because last week there were none.
Let's find out.
For everybody in the southeast Wisconsin area, did the Brewers win today? Yes, they did. 7-4.
Yes,
All
they
right.
did. After their 22-0. Well, they lost game 2, but 22-0, man.
Well, they're back to 30
That's
games over 500.
crazy.
is nice. So we'll see if they can keep the one or two seed going into the playoffs. So any matches?
Sunday nights in Hotlanta. I love the logo for that. They're Trick Williams and Lil Yachty. It's a cool looking
Sure, sure.
logo for Sunday night's main event here. Can I share the screen? Can I share? There you
See
go.
it on the
Check this
bottom?
out.
There you go.
Check this guy out.
Hey, Lemon Pepper Steppa gonna be rocking it up in Atlanta.
I love it. Look at that.
Oh, doesn't he have the rematch for the U.S. title?
Well, I thought he does have a rematch coming, but it doesn't show on Sunday night's main event. I can tell you that.
What matches are set? Are there
But
any?
there are two matches. There are two matches set. And it is Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton and Obafemi versus Braun Breaker.
Ah, all right. All right. I like that. I like that.
Two big matches right there.
General having his party this year?
I have not heard a word. So I don't know.
Did we go last year or was that the year before?
It was the year before. We were there last year.
I didn't.
We were there last year. Or yeah, you did go last year. I was there last year. You couldn't make it. You stayed for the show, for the PLE. There was a PLE going on.
Just like there is now.
Yeah.
Well, technically.
It's a little less, but still same bit, same deal.
All right, let's get into SmackDown. We get the whole Chelsea Green thing. He comes out and tells her to drop it, and I'm like, oh man, we just we just podcasted yesterday about this, from last week, and now they're gonna strip it. No, and sure enough, she talks him into, she gets a great reaction. It looks like you watched this. How did you like that?
How over is she right now? That was a great promo from her. Really sold it well. She's worked her ass off to be where she is. I thought, again, the whole stipulation bullshit is awful the way they're doing this. You just let Rhea Ripley hold on to the title, even though she's injured, and you were going to strip. Now you're going to give her 30 days, which is the normal stipulation for being a champion. 30 days to defend it. Bullshit.
Why doesn't it make sense? It makes total sense. Like, they made an interim title so that they could have defenses while Rhea, because they made a special thing because it's Rhea. Fine. Okay. But now, hey, now we need this to be, we can't have an interim title, Dan. Although that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious, but it would get so much backlash because it's in the women's division. If they did it in the men's division, it would get over. If they did it in the men's division and Sammy was out hurt and he's like, well, I'm gone. You have 3 interim champions and I come back and I have to fight them all. That would have been great. That would have been great.
Awesome.
But you can't.
That would be awesome. Actually, I'm all for that.
If they did it to the women's division, they'd be like, oh, well, you're just, it's not, you're not taking it seriously.
Right.
Well, I guess it's going to have something to do with 3 interim champions or something like that. I don't know. He's writing, folks.
Yeah.
After we'll be going into our 13th year in less than a month, folks. So I kind of know what's going on over there.
Yeah, get the idea when my head goes down and the pen starts moving.
Kind of like, here's a public service.
I'm looking something up. I'm writing something down. I'm always working over here.
There's a public service announcement. I'm back on the road. Speaking of knowing things, folks, when you're driving and you're on your phone,
oh boy,
everybody can tell. Like, not only because you drive like shit, like you're not paying attention because you're not, but like people could see behind you into your side view or your rear view mirror. And when your head is like this, and then all of a sudden you're like this and you start driving better, and then you go back down again. Like we know you're on your, put the phone down, put it down. Don't clown around. That's a PSA from the DWI.
Not that important.
Don't text
and drive.
Text and podcast.
Yes. It's not that important.
I'm telling you. And a lot of the people that I deal with on a daily basis realize that I'm back on the road because I do not respond with the
Yep,
fervor
no
that I
tolerance.
used to when I wasn't on the road.
No tolerance.
So Gunther comes out and interrupts this, which I think is great because that lends a lot. That's a great rub for Chelsea Green to have this back and forth with Gunther because she holds her own, right? Like there's no physical dynamic there for competition, but there's competition for who's a more noticeable superstar / champion, right? Because Gunther is a former champion. So I thought Chelsea held her own with the Gunther interaction.
Yeah, that was really great. That was kind of a surprise. It was it was like, what the hell is Gunther coming out here to do? Take the title away? What like you know, now that he's kind of, he's becoming a little more buddy buddy with Nick Aldis kind of thing. It was really cool to see, yeah, that intergender interaction, which was, yeah, I think definitely positive for Chelsea. And yeah, it shows they can definitely hold their own when it comes to even just the mic work.
Gunther would break out a brand new submission, the Boston Crab. Well, it's not brand new, but it's new for him. And take care of Matt Cardona, who came out to defend his wife's honor. Baron Corbin defeats Carmelo Hayes to retain, and then Trick Williams and Yachty come out. So, like, as much as we said they had moved on, like, I'm like, oh, are we wrong about Chelsea? No, we're right. It's just a story. And then, oh, we're wrong about Trick moving on from Baron Corbin, which leads me to believe that poster that he might be getting it back. Maybe he has it and the Money in the Bank. I don't know. I still think he's winning the Money in the Bank.
I still think they could. Maybe they just, I, decided, okay, one more match. Make it 3 matches and have them lose again, I guess. But yeah, I don't. I just, it does feel like they're in a sense moving on, even though they're stretching it out to have one more match. I still get the feeling, yeah, I think you're probably more right in that he could win Money in the Bank rather than get this title back. Because I feel like if they were going to do it, they should have had him win the rematch. Lose, win again to retain, rather than lose. I don't know. To me, the storyline's a little weird. You having to come back to it, but definitely not disagreeing with seeing those two have another match. But I don't see him getting a title back, honestly.
We get another promo between Owens and Punk. A lot of the same stuff. Anything special stand out to you there? I mean, it was good. It was just kind of the Owens Punk kind of thing. Like, I blazed the way for you. Well, I still hate you because you treated me bad one time at an indie show back in the day in a locker room. Okay.
Yeah, they pulled a bunch of old school shots. Really stretched that, dove more into that on this time around, and I think in a sense kind of gave a couple shout outs to people with Punk asking who the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking about? Kind of thing. Name names and blah blah blah.
It's funny that Punk went in on the whole fat thing, and maybe Owens wanted him to, or just kind of heelish him up a little bit more. But if Kevin Owens was in shape, he would be a small wrestler. He's not big. Punk makes him look small when they stand side by side.
Yeah, that was interesting. Punk, I didn't think he was that small.
Owens
But
is
Punk
short.
was like a couple inches shorter than even CM Punk, who's not necessarily a tall man either. So it was, maybe he needs a little bit of the girth to make himself look like a bigger wrestler. But he pulls it off. I mean, he definitely can work. But yeah, it is an interesting take.
We got new tag team champions. Tama and Talatunga with Haku take care of Damian Priest, R-Truth, and the War Raiders.
That was interesting.
Well, I mean, yeah, you kind of lend those belts over to the new storyline, like who's coming up with Shinsuke too, right? Like if it's Evil, like then they've had plans for him. He's been in NXT. They've had plans to get him into the main roster somehow. This is a great way to do it. We'll see. I don't think
I
we
also
really
heard
who else did you hear?
Takahashi from New Japan coming over.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
So, because I guess he's I forget the words that Shinsuke used, but it definitely referenced him. Apparently, that's been the rumor out there that maybe it's him instead, which would be pretty cool too.
Do you mean Tanahashi?
No, Takahashi.
Oh.
I
Oh,
think.
Hiromu Takahashi. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
It'd be more interesting if it was Tanahashi, but I'm pretty sure
it would.
he's retired. I was just like
Yeah.
wishful thinking. I'm like, oh man,
Right.
all
Yeah.
the
Not so much, but
can we get all the kings back over here? Um, well, that'd be interesting. That'd be fun. I mean, it's more New Japan kind of retread stuff because you know Tola's gone, right? And so who else did they get rid of from there? Tola Tonga or no, Tongaloa, and who was the other? Oh, and JC Mateo.
yeah, that was the other one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we'll get into more Bloodline stuff to end what we got going on here. But we do have a new women's United States champion. So it's interesting. Like, both my Money in the Bank picks could possibly be United States champions, right? Like, I'm good with
Yeah.
that. Tiffany didn't necessarily need to keep that title anymore. She doesn't need it.
No, not necessarily at this point. And like you've been hyping them up. JC Jane was due for a title. Possibly Money in the Bank because that faction's been doing so well. And giving that to her here, and now Fatal Influence has all the gold kind of thing. So it's it just adds to their heel faction so well that they can brag about all of that and keep that faction going.
No, I completely agree there. Sammy versus Cody was about to start the end of the show. Randy Orton attacks Cody Rhodes from behind. The two brawled through the arena, including one around the announce desk steps area, as officials tried to separate them, ending the show. The Rhodes Zayn match never officially began. I mean, Cody Randy at Sunday night's main event, right?
Cody Randy at Sunday night's main event. It'll be interesting where Sami Zayn falls into all of this as well. Does he get inserted somehow into any type of fashion? Referee, triple threat, just interference. That's going to happen, right? Somewhere.
He'll be looming.
Yeah, it's weird. It's awesome to see. He's always getting inserted into these matches. Kind of like a lot of these aren't necessarily his match, but he's always there. So I'm loving all of it. I think it's really great. And I'm very happy to see Randy Orton back too.
Yeah, Randy's great. He's a guy you folks, if you haven't thought deeply enough about it, should enjoy every time you see him, because you're not going to see him, much longer. Or maybe you will. Maybe you'll see him forever. Who knows? Maybe he's that guy. But no, I think Randy is going to, at some point, he's going to be done.
It's definitely slowing down. It's definitely
still looks great. Still moves great though. Limited schedule is smart. Keep him going. He's kind of he's one of the last like part timers now. Actually, if you think about it.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, now Lesnar's retired, and you don't really have it. Roman Reigns is a little bit, most probably the next one.
Yeah, say like Reigns and Becky Lynch are probably the next two kind of like that take time off specifically.
Yeah.
But other than that, they don't have a lot of people like that anymore.
No, that's about it. I mean, the only other reason people are taking time off is because they're taking regular time off. That's it. Not necessarily
having babies
because they have they're scheduled that way, making babies.
Well, let's get to Raw. Raw opens with Stephanie Vaquer calling out Liv Morgan. She's outmatched, of course, with the Judgment Day out there, but Becky Lynch comes in to make the save only for Stephanie Vaquer to also lay down a challenge to Becky Lynch. Then the Judgment Day took care of both women. That's a fun triple threat, I think. Vaquer, Lynch, and Morgan. If you're going to take the belt off of Morgan and give it to Vaquer, it'd be a great way for Vaquer to do it by pinning Lynch as opposed to Morgan. Like that's your that's your 1A women's rivalry that you need to build is Vaquer and Morgan, right? Like the more times that one kind of gets over on for a face, it's a way to get over because you didn't beat them, but continue the rivalry and the mystery of who's going to win that next time they face off, right?
Yeah, and I think that's really the thing. I think we talked about it a while back too. That's really the thing that Stephanie and Vaquer missed out on, or at least I feel like
The
was
bill.
being in chase mode and having the build. She was just kind of, thrust into the title, got the title, which is totally fine. I mean, she's talented enough and everything, and she's
Known for thrusting as well.
well, well over. That's some people's that's Booker T's favorite move. uh, and yeah, giving her a chance to again chase and get the build up to winning that title, I think is going to be really great for her. I'm hoping it doesn't happen until next year, Royal Rumble or it's a WrestleMania title change for her and have that have that have an in between all the way up until then. Becky Lynch inserted here, and you can stretch it out if it's a triple threat or singles matches to get there, but save that Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vaquer match one on one for WrestleMania for the title, and I think it could be huge.
Ray Phoenix advances along with Dragon Lee in the World Heavyweight Championship #1 contendership. It's got to be Ray against Penta. They are on opposite sides of the bracket. We talked about this last week. Penta makes a great opponent for Roman, I do believe. And maybe, he's got Roman on the ropes and the bloodline interferes and it's a DQ, and then Dragon Lee comes out to help his brother, and now we get the rivalry between the Usos and I can't remember what they're
I don't
called
know what the
anymore.
tag team
It's
name was
Lucha Bros, the Lucha Bros.
Lucha Bros. Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
Ray Phoenix and Penta. I think that's an epic. That's a bucket list rivalry people want to see, like the Usos and the Lucha Bros. Like that's like I do.
I think it'd be awesome. I think that's a great setup to get there. You know, Ray, Ray and Penta in the finals have a somewhat in a sense friendly match. Hug each other at the end. Bros are back together, and then shenanigans happen in the Reigns and Penta match, and you get those guys all together.
Shenanigans. I love that place.
What? Oh. And it leads to, we talked about wanting to bolster the tag division, get Penta and Ray Phoenix back together, and in the tag division that gets, them together, and that could be really huge. And then, you can have that feud for a bit, which would be really awesome. And you got another, automatically legit tag team that have been doing it forever that can be, immediate champions.
Javon Evans would defeat JD McDonough, and then Big Cass would attack Evans. Evans would fight back, but Dominic would interfere, helping Cass. Could Cass be... Sorry about the sneeze. Could Cass be... At least I might pause it.
Right, he caught it.
Could Cass be headed into the Judgment Day? Could this be new blood for the Judgment Day? I mean, talk about that. I gotta blow my nose.
Let's talk about it. It'd be interesting, but I don't know. Big Cass, at least his character right now is just I don't care about anybody. I'm gonna beat people up, whatever, stacking bodies. That I don't see him aligning with anybody at this point. It would definitely be interesting to make him like their muscle, because they really don't have like a muscle, guy at this point in the Judgment Day, and Dom and JD having him as their security would certainly be interesting.
I mean, you could have Raquel or Roxy as a love interest lead in to the Judgment Day too. Like maybe smitten with Raquel because they're both tall or something, or maybe smitten with Roxy because, well,
she's 1 foot tall.
I'll just stop right there.
Yeah, I mean, it'd definitely be an interesting story.
I should have grabbed
If
a
they
beer
did
while I
that.
was over there.
I thought that's what you were initially going to do,
No, I
but
literally like my allergies are so bad right now that I'm just trying
yeah.
not.
Oh,
Like I literally had to sneeze. No big deal.
yeah,
We're
yeah, it's fine.
we're live. Hey, we're
We're
live,
making
pal.
it. Well, pal. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think that would be interesting. But I don't know if they'll do that. I think they'll just leave Big Cass alone, let him destroy some people for a while, and I don't know. At this point, I don't know where it's going to lead either, though. So
Right.
they don't really have a spot for that
No, he's
character.
just
Eventually, he's going to have to wrestle for a championship and lose. So
maybe they do have a plan. I don't know. I mean, you would assume me. You would assume. How did you like
yes.
the Braun Breaker and Obafemi whole segment with Paul Heyman and everything else? Like, what are your thoughts here on everything? Very cryptic.
I don't. Yeah. If it's not leading to Paul Heyman, one of these two being a Paul Heyman guy, then it's very odd what the hell they're doing because Paul Heyman's in between this whole thing too, and I just assume one of them is going to get Paul Heyman's services, uh, or maybe it's just maybe he gets both. Maybe they make it again a Paul Heyman faction or something too. I would love that. Maybe they mutually agree to uh, be covered, but I don't know what they're going to do. I don't like that they're putting them head on together right now because these two are like the future and going to be headlining WrestleManias against each other. I would think. Um, eh, if this was, or maybe if this was for the mid card title or something like like Rock Austin, like that era where
You know,
they fought for the IC title and then eventually were challenging each other for the world title too. So
but
if
they weren't
that's
at the
kind of
point where these guys are in their career either. Like not
no,
Oba for sure.
no, that's definitely different. So it's odd that they're putting them up against each other right now when it seems like they should be in the world title picture. And then again, Obafemi, they just been really fumbling with this whole story since WrestleMania. So
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. At some point, you know, just because it's one of these two guys doesn't mean you can't just throw whatever at us, right?
right.
Chad Gable defeats Rey Mysterio via pinfall. It's a good match. Gable reversed a late pin attempt. And now let's get to it. We had talked about it last week. We couldn't wait to get on here this week, and it's the filet mignon that you've been waiting for after 6 drinks at the bar because it took 45 minutes to get seated. Three baskets of bread because you were hungry as fuck.
You'd rather talk about that? I mean, we can. I don't know what happened, but
The Usos deliver Solo Sikoa to Roman Reigns. Did you watch the segment? Tell me you watched the segment.
with great joy, they delivered Solo
Like
to Roman
I
Reigns.
was so enjoying their walk down to the ring. Like they were doing everything to get him to break. Like I'm watching them come down to the ring, and Jacob and Roman are standing in the ring, and I'm like, these 5 guys grew up together, and now
Right.
they're out here
They're just
having the
partying
time
it
of their
up.
fucking life, right?
They're just partying it up. They got to be loving life right now. This is the great stuff. I mean, yeah. How great is that to grow up together, all wanting to do this for a living, and you're all in a segment together doing this for a living, on the main event of Raw. Yeah, it looked like that was just some fun shit that they were doing. They were getting oozy, I would say.
They were. So Roman is all pissed at Solo, rightfully so, shows him a montage. We end up getting LA Knight out there. Is that before or after? No, we get LA Knight. And then the Bloodline takes care of LA Knight, and Roman's telling Solo he needs to. This is after like a super kick from Jacob, I believe. and Roman telling Jacob not to touch LA Knight either. Roman's demanding Solo take care of LA Knight because he shouldn't have been in this position anyway. It's because of him. And as Solo saying he's sorry, as he goes to put the Samoan spike into LA Knight, he turns and gives it to Roman Reigns. He dumps Jay over the rope by pulling it down. He throws Jim over the rope. LA gets up. I don't remember exactly what happened after that, but like they took care of business and ended up going out on top at the end.
Yeah, Roman went for the spear, instead got the blunt force trauma or the Superman punch too, and
yeah, there was a bunch of other stuff I missed there, but like all in all, with Jacob standing by, kind of watching everything happen at the end, LA Knight and Solo got over on the Usos and Roman Reigns.
Yeah, it was a really great segment. I mean, the pop that Solo got when he hit Roman, somewhat reminiscent of when Sammy turned on him in a similar fashion way back when in the last Bloodline iteration. It was really awesome. I mean, they did a great, and got LA Knight involved too, which was interesting to kind of keep that going because obviously LA Knight and Roman Reigns have unfinished business.
Could Solo cost Roman Reigns the title and LA Knight actually beat Roman Reigns for the title?
Man, I kind of hope so. I mean, right? I think we don't need the title for the whole Bloodline thing.
You can always give it back to him for WrestleMania season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we're leading down the path of the Bloodline feud, obviously continuing, and kind of Roman doesn't need the title for this if he's going to battle Solo for a whatever, if they're going to do another Bloodline Rules or a Tribal Combat one. Again, to have these, is he going to be part of the family? Blah 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 shit.
Well, and Zilla's up in NXT now, right? So like he's around. We have more new blood coming into the line of the Bloodline. Like, right? Mm-hmm. Come on now.
That's your hook for potentially another War Games. You got enough guys on each side probably to do it. Bloodline on one. You could have LA Knight, Solo, whatever on the other, Zilla or the MFTs. So yeah, you got that build there, done very well. And the interesting one is Jacob Fatu, who's always been in the middle of this. He was always in line with Solo. Obviously, things changed with the Tribal Combat. But is he really helping Roman? Why was he just standing there? Was that Roman telling him that he shouldn't be involved? He needs to stand there. We got more things to unravel in that portion of it too, which is just stretches out that story and makes it interesting to go, okay, whose side is everybody going to be on when everything, when the smoke clears? And it's just it's so good, and it's so awesome to see Solo going full babyface as well.
At some point, considering how many there are now active, right? As opposed to like when the original Bloodline was going on, we were kind of like including like non-family members too, right? At what point do we get all of them back together? Just them, right? Like Roman and Haku can be the wise man, and then you have Tama and Tulla and Zilla and the Usos and Solo and Jacob. Like that's a faction. That's a faction. That's an old school dominating more than one show, maybe all three shows faction.
Yeah, that's a early second level NWO, before they went too nuts.
Yeah.
Of having this group that could just come out and kind of take over the show. Which
how much they either get cheered or booed when they all get in the ring together, depending on what they're trying to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you had all those guys I just mentioned in the ring together at the same time, and Roman with Haku at his side being like, nothing can stop us now.
Yeah.
Everybody in this ring is only here for one reason, because we're family, and none of you are our family but us.
Yeah. We're just going to take out everyone.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be our show now.
That's what I would do at some point. before Roman gets the fuck out of there. They don't have a lot of time.
I think you have to.
Stuff, you know, the Usos aren't young either, and that way these younger members are a part of that as well, right? We were part of the
They got to
ultimate
run.
bloodline. This is the ultimate bloodline faction where everybody is together who's in the business. That's part of the family.
Yeah. I mean, you went through all that a couple years ago with showing off the family tree of everybody that's involved in that. And
Rock
here's your
shows
up and comers.
That right?
Right? Exactly. I mean, you give them all the rub of that. And I mean, I feel like you have to kind of do that almost like next year, you know, start that after we get through this run of the bloodline.
Kind of put
after
everybody.
WrestleMania. Yeah. Whatever is coming up for WrestleMania, you have these guys all quote unquote fall in line
At WrestleMania.
and they're all united.
That'd be great.
Gotta
That'd be
do
really
it, I think. I think
Yeah.
you gotta.
All right. Well, every week I come here on DWI that's not a pre or post PLE, and I'm like, well, we get 30 minutes in, I'll be happy. We're coming up on an hour. We've been kicking ass these last few weeks. So there you go, a little video game talk, and just kind of running down Raw and SmackDown, giving our thoughts. We'll do the same next week. Maybe we'll get into some fantasy football thoughts or something like that. Next week we'll do a different kind of list, something. But the week after that, we're gonna have a nice preview to Sunday night's main event. And then we're on our way to Money in the Bank. So that should be very quality PLE as well. All right, DP, let's get the hell out of here. We're going to get out of here under an hour this week. Hell yeah, that's what we do. Let everybody know where they can find you.
You find me all over the worldwide social media interwebs at It's Me DPP, and follow this show at Podcast DWI on the X and Facebook.com/DWI Podcast.
Let's see if this gets us in trouble. You can follow me at PC Tunney.
Still on there, I think.
Chairshot Radio Network, all favorite streaming platforms at Chairshot Media. Don't drink and drive, drink a podcast. See you next week.
Don't text and drive either.
What'd you say?
Don't text and drive either.
Yeah, fucking assholes. Don't text and drive.
TheChairShot.com. Always use your head.
Bye.